Hey Joel,
How you doing, Matt?
good. How are you?
Good.
You ready to rock this thing?
We will see. Hopefully, I don't screw it up too bad.
Yeah, right. Um, so I'll just intro you, and then obviously I'll pass the hosting over to you.
Okay. For
Um,
to record it, like I'll share my screen, and then are you like are you handling the recording?
yeah, it's already recording, so
Okay.
we're good to go. I'll take care of getting it to everybody as well.
Okay.
I just got to figure out how to make you host.
I should just be able to share my screen. Like I have a button right now where I could do that.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's gonna work, that would be awesome.
We'll try it in a few minutes.
Okay. If not, I'll just struggle in front of everyone. Which is my MO. I'm good at doing that. How's everybody doing? Good.
How's Granville coming along? Or Grand Haven? The one you're building.
Yeah, it's actually going awesome. So
Yeah.
they start like everything's framed in. They started actually the interior framing, and
Yeah.
then they've started like putting everything on the outside. So it's actually like moving really fast now.
Yeah, I sure once they get like the frame up, like the everything that they've done now, it'll probably move quick.
Yeah, so I basically know what's coming like 2 weeks later because the building next to us, it's the same contractor, so they do his building, and then as soon as they're done with that on his building, they come in
Sure. Yeah.
building. Uh, so his building, um, they got everything. They got the steel studs in. They've already started doing a bunch of stuff, so they're cranking. So we're cranking. I think we'll be open in September.
Cool.
But barring like a natural disaster, I think we'll be.
Yeah.
I just need to be in by January. That's it. That's when my lease ends. If not, that will be a problem.
Yeah.
So I think we have 32 people said that they're going to attend. Hopefully they do. Okay. Figured out how to make you the host if it doesn't allow you to do a screen share, Joel. So
Okay.
give everyone a few more minutes. Two more minutes to be exact. What's new in Canada, Joel?
I don't know. There's no snow anymore. That's good.
Yeah, that was this winter's been not so fun.
Yeah, we had like a super cold February. I don't know if it was like that in Michigan, but it was really cold.
Yep. It didn't want to make its mind, man. Like here for a couple of weeks it would be like 70, and then the next week it's snowing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, make up your mind. Oh, who's cranking out the music?
That's me, sorry. I have it going all day long.
I wanted to keep it going.
Keep me fired up.
All right, it is 2 o'clock. Can everyone mute their screens outside of Joel? Everyone mute their computers, please. That way we don't get that feedback. your raised music. So make sure everyone is muted. All right, make sure you guys get muted here. We're gonna get rolling. All right, just by a show of hands, how many of you who are actually on camera, how many of you are currently using Manychat? A few of you. Okay, so we've been really going all in on Manychat the last, I'd say like the last 3 to 4 months, and it works really, really well. And I'm sure Joel will cover why it works really well. I heard Joel present on Manychat. What was it, like 6 months ago? 6, 9 months.
Yeah,
ago?
about that.
He did an amazing job of really walking us through how to use Manychat and how to optimize it and how he's currently using it inside of his business. I definitely think this is a wave where you guys need to start getting on this, and we've laid out promotions for you. You'll see that there's typically a Manychat option with that, and you'll really want to start taking advantage of that. I'm not going to talk any further. This is getting recorded. If you guys can quickly make sure that you are on mute. I hear some moving around. Make sure you're on mute real quick. And Joel's going to take over. This is going to get recorded. This is going to be something that you're probably going to want to go back and watch again, so that you can set your. The great thing about Manychat, it's very user friendly. It's just going to take you a little bit of time of figuring out the different tools and the things that you can do, but super user friendly. I was able to start using it within 30 minutes. So it's nothing to be afraid of. When you first see the dashboard, it seems like overwhelming, but it's nothing to be afraid of. And I'm hoping after the day, you guys feel confident in beginning to use it and be able to optimize your marketing. So with that, I'm going to shut up, and now I'm going to pass it over to Joel.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I will share this screen here. All right, can everyone see my screen? Just a few head nods. Yeah, we're good. All right, I'm not gonna put it into present mode because I don't know how that'll work, so I'll just keep it, I'll keep it like this. So, like Matt said, I'm just gonna cover why we should all be using Manychat in a nutshell. And really it comes down to this. So with Manychat, for those of you who don't know what it is at all, it's basically Facebook Messenger. So just like if I was to send you a private Facebook message, Manychat is a third-party service that allows you to send Facebook messages to prospects, leads, members, whoever you want it to. With that, because it's very private and intimate, it has almost 100% open rates, and I'll show you a few examples in a second. Whereas email, as we all know, 5%. If you had a 20% open rate on an email, you're doing pretty damn good. So open rates are almost 100%. Click-through rates are anywhere from 20% to 80%. It really depends kind of on what your call to action is for that. Whereas email, it might be like 0.5 to 3% within email. And it can be very intimate. You can build those relationships with those clients better. And although email is certainly not dead, Facebook Messenger can be very powerful because you can get in front of people's eyes. So here are some results of just some recent broadcasts that I've sent out. So you can see here's some numbers. I've started doing very recently these last 3 that are TT. Those are just Transformation Tuesdays that I've started to send out via Manychat. I wanted to see if a bunch of people would unsubscribe. And although you do get a few, just like you do with email, not a lot of people have, because what I was doing in the past was, you can see we have about 1,000 subscribers on our Location 1 Manychat list. And I would only use it if it was like sending out a, hey, registration is open for this challenge, rather than trying to provide a little bit of value through the platform. So that's where I'm kind of starting to play with that a little bit. And so far it's going all right, but you can see the open rates with that. So 95%, 93%, 90%, 85%, 75%. So really, really good open rates with those Transformation Tuesday ones. I don't have a button, no call to action. That's why those are 0. But if you do, you can usually get kind of that 10 to 20%, even upwards of like 50, 60, 70% click-through rates, depending on what that call to action is. So this is what I'm going to kind of cover today. I'm actually going to flip back and forth between this presentation and actually go into Manychat. So that'll give you guys a better you'll kind of see the flow, how to set up certain things. So we'll talk about how to set up Facebook ads specifically for the growth tools that I think are best. We'll talk a few do's and don'ts for what to do to build your list. We'll talk briefly about sequences. I don't want to make it super complicated. To be honest, I've only done this a few times and actually just set one up yesterday. I'll show you a couple results from that. And then we'll talk about broadcasting. So building your Manychat list, although there are dozens of growth tools once you get into Manychat, the three that I think you should use the most are comment to messenger, JSON, and ref URL. So those are the three you can use. I'm gonna flip here to I'll open up my. I just gotta move all your guys' faces. All right. So if you go into Manychat, this is kind of what it looks like when you get in there. The dashboard. Usually when you log in, it'll look something like this. Growth tools. This is what you would use to build your Manychat list. So if you click on this new growth tool, you'll see that there's all kinds of different things that you can do, all these widgets. I've never really used any of these, but there's these other growth tools at the bottom. That's where you'll find that ref URL, the comments, and the JSON. And I think those are the three most powerful ones. And we'll go through those in detail. And if someone is not on your messenger list, you can't broadcast to them. So if you guys have ever tried setting up a Facebook ad and you've seen that there's an option to run an ad as a message or something like that, you can't do that unless you've had an interaction to someone. So unlike how you might set up a Facebook ad that targets everyone in your city and it's a traffic is your objective, you can't select message and just send a message to everybody that's in your city. You can only send people that have interacted with you one-on-one. That's kind of how Facebook controls it. They don't want this to turn into email. They want it to be very intimate, and that's why there's some rules that go along with it. Okay, so that's why it's important to build your list, because you can't just broadcast to everyone and their dog. All right, let's talk about JSON. Oops. JSON is a growth tool that allows you to bypass the generic get started button. So when people click and take action via Manychat, almost all the time, the first thing they need to do is click get started. A little button pops up and they need to do that. Sometimes that confuses people. You guys will see if you ever set up one of these growth tools, sometimes some people might take action from a Facebook ad, then the get started button pops up and they don't do anything else. You guys will probably see that occasionally. The nice thing about JSON is it bypasses that. Where the way that you set it up, it bypasses that get started so people can go right into your message. So it's a little more clear. So this is very powerful, as sometimes leads don't know what to do when that get started button pops up. This, in my opinion, should probably be the #1 growth tool you should use. Works best for giveaways. So like ebooks, meal plans, free memberships, all that kind of stuff. This is where you would use this JSON tool. So the pro of it is, like I said, skipping that get started button, your opt-in percentage is going to increase. The con with using JSON is your initial message limited. So unlike with the other ones where you can have a longer message, you can include their name, etc. The JSON one, I think it's limited. Oh yeah, I have it right there. It's limited by 150 characters. You can't use someone's name. So it's definitely more of a generic initial message. So let's go to growth tools. I'm not going to totally set up a JSON growth tool, but we'll go through the flow a little bit. So you're going to click on that JSON thing. I don't know what this is. Something new. Proceed. And then it's going to open up like this. So this is that initial message that you're going to need to set up. So you would have a Facebook ad running, and it says, and you would say like, click learn more to opt in to do whatever. When they do that, this would be that first message that they would see. Okay. So if you click on this edit button, you could go in and edit this initial message. Just 1 second, guys. Please be quiet. Just for 1 second. So you can go in here and edit this message however you wanted to do it. But like I said, you can't see, you'll see that there's no option to put in like a first name or anything like that. So it has to be very generic, like thanks for your interest in, whatever you want to do. Then what you need them to do, just by them clicking on your Facebook ad and seeing this initial message, they are not on your messenger list. Okay, they need to do one step. And with all the tools, with the exception of the ref URL, they need to click a button in that initial message to go onto your list. So you would have to say, let's say it was an ebook. Thanks for your interest in our ebook. Please click on the button below to download. And then what you could do is then you would set up this button, and what you'll need to do is actually have another message. You can't have this initial message have what they call promotional materials. So Manychat sets it up so that you can set broadcasts, you can send promotional materials. Promotional materials are anything like sending them to a website, sending them to an ebook, because it would be a different URL. Basically, if you were taking them out of Messenger, that's a promotional message. So what you would need to say is, please click on this button to download your ebook. Then what you would do is you could say like, click here. They would do that. And what you're going to do is click on this next button. And then your next message would say, awesome, here is your ebook. And then you could say, this button could say like instantly download. So I don't know if you guys could see the difference, but on that initial message, it is just the message. And the only option you have with that button is to send them to another message. Okay? They can't grab it. You can't make them do anything from that initial message. And that was kind of what I was saying with the con of the JSON, is that the initial one is very small. And you have to get them to do something. So you have to get them to click here. It'll send them to another message. Awesome, here's your ebook. Now you can do whatever they want. Now they've clicked on that first button. They're on your Messenger list. You can send them to a website. You can send them another message. You can do whatever you want to do from here. Okay, so that's the initial messages that you would set up. Once you have that set up, what is important with JSON is this code. So we'll see if I can do this here without wasting everyone's time too much. But this is the code that you use when you set up a Facebook ad. So let's go. Like I said, if this takes more than 5 minutes, I'm not going to do it. All right, so let's say I wanted to set up a JSON Facebook ad. You're going to open your ads manager eventually. All right, create. Your objective for this is going to be, you're going to see there's a messenger button. So if you scroll down, there's this messages. So that's what you would need to do. So you're going to click on messages. Oh, I can't see it because all you guys' faces are down there now. That's going to be how I spell test. All right, so then you're gonna get to here. I'm just gonna blast through this to get to the messenger setup. Let's assume that I select my audience, I write my copy, all that good stuff. When you get to the end, you're gonna see there's a spot for your messenger setup. So it's gonna look like this when you scroll to the bottom. So above, right, where you enter in, you guys should be relatively familiar with this, where you write your copy, your headlines, your images, videos, whatever goes there. You scroll down, usually from here, it says confirm or you publish it. If you scroll down on this messenger one, you're gonna have some options. What you're gonna do is gonna click custom. Then you're going to click, I think it says create a message. Every time you go in here, it's something different. I'm gonna move you guys again. There we go. You'll see there, see the JSON. So you're gonna click on JSON. You would delete all of this code. So you delete it all the way to the top. You would go back to Manychat, you would copy this, and then you would go in and paste it for that JSON Facebook ad, okay? So that's how you set up the JSON Facebook ad, Manychat message in a nutshell. I don't know, Matt, if we wanna like do any questions really quick on like each one while we go through. If anyone wants to ask like a quick question on JSON before we move on.
Yeah, I think there's some questions in the chat. If you wanna, can you see them?
All I see is like faces.
Okay, so in the chat section, I'll just run through them real quick.
Okay.
Tom put, so the first message is basically an opt-in agreement.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's how you could see it. So you have to get them to then click on the button. Just by them seeing that first message doesn't mean they're on their list. You have to get them to do something with a button. They don't even have to do something with a button, but they have to either message you, they have to click on your button, they have to do something to go onto your list and for you to do something further.
They have to interact inside of there for them to get put on your list. So even if somebody clicked on your ad and they went there, but then they didn't take any action, they're not on your list.
That's right.
Using the JSON.
Right.
Tom put, do the messages have to be set before adding the JSON?
Yeah, so if you were in Manychat and you wrote, so you wrote that initial message, and then you saved it, and then you went and grabbed that code, you'll see that message, that whatever you wrote will be right there. So if you went and pasted that code in your Facebook ad and then went back and changed it, it's not going to work. It's going to be different. Okay, so with JSON, you got to make sure that your message is correct the first time, or if you do change it, you have to recopy that JSON code. You have to go back into your Facebook ad, paste it again. It'll have to get reapproved, and then you'd have to go through that process.
Cool. One person put, not to get ahead of myself, but what's the thought on the Manychat ads feature?
Manychat ads feature. I'm not sure what that, if we're talking about, oh, like down here, this beta thing. I don't know. I've never even clicked on it.
All right.
That's the first time I clicked on it.
All right. Matt put, but once they do interact in any way, we've captured them for future.
That's right.
Correct. So now you'll be able to send them messages in the future. So they'll show up in your audience, and then obviously whatever they've been tagged as. All right. That's all the questions so far.
All right. So let's move on. So that is JSON.
Hey,
We will move.
Joel.
Yeah.
Tabor here. I've got a question, and maybe you're going to cover this, and if you are, just tell me to pause for a second. We're using Manychat. We've used it on one campaign, and so I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. But when someone goes to our main page and that messenger pops up, it says get started right there. How do I change that initial pop-up? Are you going to cover
You
that?
can't.
You can't. So it's going to always
That's
get started.
that's like what? That's kind of like that's the pro to JSON. If you set up that JSON widget or whatever growth tool, is that you can skip that get started button. But with everything else, that get started button pops up, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's what kind of Facebook has set up, because they want people to have to click on that button, to have to go through, so that we can't just take people's information and start spamming them through Messenger.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
No problem. All right, let's talk about comment to Messenger. So when some comment to Messenger is, if someone comments on a Facebook ad or a post, when they comment, you can then get Manychat to sync to that and then send them a message. So when someone comments on a Facebook ad, Messenger will automatically open. They don't need to click on a link or a button or do anything like that. So you've probably seen some people run stuff like this where it's like, comment below to get my free 21-day meal plan, and they'll say like yes, and then you can open up Messenger and then go through that flow. So once the lead takes action within Messenger, replies, clicks on a button, etc., then they're subscribed to your list, just like with JSON. From there, possibilities are endless. Oops. So the pros to comment to Messenger are, you can have a very large organic reach. So if you had a very engaging post or ad and lots of people were commenting, obviously Facebook really likes that. So you'll get a lot more of an organic reach from that post, whereas compared to just a regular Facebook post, if you will. And you can build real relationships by trying to put people through with your bot certain questions. You can really try to build those relationships with people. The con to it is, if your ad doesn't invoke engagement, no one's going to comment and your campaign will fail. So we have 3 locations. I'll show you guys at the end of this one that I just set up yesterday. Location 1, it's working really, really well. Location 2, it's decent. And then location 3, it's not working at all because no one's commenting on the ad. So for that location right now, this comment to Messenger growth tool is not working at all. All right, so let's go to Manychat, growth tools, new growth tool. you would scroll down. It's this Facebook comments. Okay, that's what you would be interested in. This one is a little, I wouldn't say trickier to set up, but you need to have a few things. So you'll see that in order to set this one up, you have to have your post written. So if you can go and you can write a Facebook post, even if you don't want to post it, you could write it and schedule it. You can select a scheduled post in here. So you would go to and select that post. So what this would look like is, maybe I should actually show you guys the one that I set up yesterday so you can get like a better idea of what, I can't get out of here. There we go. Yeah. All right, well, that's loading. I'm trying to not be slow. We'll move on to this. So comment to Messenger, do ask them to make a comment and why. I'm actually not doing this in the one that I set up yesterday, but what Facebook doesn't like, which is what a lot of people have used this tool for, is like comment yes below to get your free whatever it is. And then people are like, yes, 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 yes. What Facebook really likes is true engagements, comments, etc. So the better thing to do would be like, I don't know, like maybe you shot a video and it's like, when's the best time to eat carbs? And then you could have like 1 in the morning, 2 after your workout, 3 at dinner time. And then you could say like, comment below which time you think is best and tell me why. And then people would say, I think it's best to eat after your workout because of this. And then you could still set it up where when people commented, then you would send them a Facebook Messenger, Manychat message and take them through the flow. Facebook would really like that because people are really posting true comments, engaging comments, and then you would get a really big organic reach. So that's the best thing to do with it, rather than just kind of comment yes, but even though you can still do that. Oops.
Hey Joel, I have a quick question for you on that. Is that okay?
Yeah.
You know, I could be wrong, but you know, even when I'm posting on the actual fan page, I seem to like all of our members are the ones that are typically doing all that engaging.
Yeah.
You know, and this tool in my mind specifically is obviously to help with new prospects, new leads. How, you know, so how is there a way to like decipher, like we are like to exclude certain people from this, or like anybody that would then comment on that would be getting hit with the automatic message?
Yeah, no, totally. You can. And it's something that I've like, I wouldn't say been frustrated with, but like it is annoying. I mean, every time you have an opt-in, members opt in, and then they go on like your prospect email list or whatever it is. It's just the way it is. And kind of the same with this. However, what you could do is you can take people in Manychat. So you could have a question that's like, are you a current member? And if they hit yes, then you could tag them as that. And then you could take them down a different flow or do something different with those people. And if they said no, then you could take them as prospect or something like that. So you definitely can. I've never really done that, only because I don't like to have, I don't know, it depends what you're asking for. If you're like download an ebook and then your first question is kind of like, are you a member? It just doesn't, it's not in sync with what you're trying to ask for. But you can definitely do it. All right, where are we? So with comment to Messenger, be crystal clear on the action you want those leads to take. So for example, when you set up a comment to Messenger, usually you have to set up keywords. You don't have to, but it's a decent idea. So you have to make sure that those people are commenting those words, and make sure you include something that says, ignore the link below. It'll take you back to the post you just clicked on. I'll show you why in a minute. Don't ask them to comment one-word responses, even though I just did that and it does still work. Although you can set up specific keywords, Facebook will penalize you as they want people to be truly engaged. So your ad, kind of your post won't see as many people as it otherwise could, but it still works. All right, so we'll go back. We're into Manychat now. We're looking at that comment to growth tool. So a few things you'll have to do. You would have to select the post, whatever you want that post to be. Let's see if this is open yet. Not super slow. I don't know what I've done, guys. I can't even find it. Doesn't really matter. So you'd have to select the post that you've written. Okay, what you're gonna do, this track first level comments button, what that means is that if you click it on, then if someone comments and their friend comments, like replies to their comment, it won't engage the Manychat tool. Okay, if you had it off, it doesn't matter if there's a reply, a comment to a comment, it'll send that person the Manychat message. Okay, so that's what that first level comments is. You can pick when you want that message to go out to them. You can exclude keywords, or you can trigger for keywords. So in Manychat, you can actually set up keywords. So if you wanted to say like comment yes below, you would set up that yes keyword. If you left it blank, it would send this message to anybody. Doesn't matter what their comment said on your ad. Okay, so that's kind of the initial thing that you need to set up. The auto response. So this message you need to have when someone then comments. This will be the first message that they see. Okay, so someone says, yes, I want your meal plan. This would be the first one that they see. Again, you need them to take action with this message. So you need them to do something in order to get on your list. Just by them seeing this message doesn't mean that they're on your list, okay? So I'm gonna flip to actually the one that I built yesterday so you guys can see what that looks like. Maybe that's even better. So I'm actually doing this 21-day meal plan. So I set it up yesterday. This is our location one that's working well. I'm only spending $15 a day, but I've had 34 people opt in. So 41 people have seen it, 34 have opted in. So that's a pretty good conversion rate. So it's working really well. So if I click to auto response, this is what my initial message looks like. Hey, first name, thanks for your interest in one of our 21-day meal plans. To make sure we send you the best plan, we're gonna ask you a few questions. So I have it set up so that it's gonna ask them a few questions and then send them a various plan. Reply yes to get started. So I set up a keyword, okay, so that when they reply yes, then I start the sequence. Now, if you see down here, I say ignore the link because it'll take you back to the post. Every time there's a comment to messenger post. Let's actually see what this looks like on here. I won't be able to see it. You'll be able to see what the post that I was trying to get to. But what happens when someone does comment on the post to get your meal plan or whatever you want to do. Okay, so this is what my post look like. So there's my copy for it. So comment below and we'll send you straight to the messenger inbox. So I don't have a keyword set up for the initial comment. I had a keyword set up for a later comment. So people just write all this stuff. They're all commenting on the ad, and then that engages the Manychat message. Okay, what happens is when they get that first message that looks like this, below it is going to be a link, kind of like almost like a mini post. Sometimes that confuses people because with this comment to messenger tool, it always puts like the Facebook post at the bottom, and if people click on that, it just takes them back to the post. So that's why at the bottom, every time you use a comment to messenger, you have to say, ignore the link below. It's going to take you back to the post. I said, just reply with yes. Okay, so I'm telling them what to do. I'm saying, ignore the link below, because if they click on that, they go back to the post. So for me, when they respond with yes, then they get a bunch of messages from my bot, which I've set up as a sequence, which we'll talk about a little bit. But in a nutshell, that's how you set up a comment to messenger. I'm not going to go into a ton of details on this call because we could spend hours on exactly how to set up each one individually, how to build sequences and all that stuff. But that is how you set up the comment to messenger one. And then the opt-in one. So they get that auto response message. And then once they do whatever you wanted them to do in that initial message, they get one more, which is I have it set up just like this. So I have an opt-in action. So send to users who only replied with the keyword, to everyone who said yes. Okay, then they get this next message that says, just a moment, we're grabbing your questions. I then add them to a 21-day meal plan sequence. And I'll show you what that is in a minute. But that's how I've set this up. It might be a little confusing. The comment to messenger one is the most complex to set up initially because you have a few more messages that you have to create in order to get them to do something when compared to the ref URL or that JSON. Okay, but once you get it set up, once you do it once, you'll see that it's fairly straightforward and it can be really powerful. All right, so let's take any questions on comment to messenger if there is any, Matt.
All right, let's see here. I'm just gonna go through this. Then if your question isn't answered, then go ahead and type in. All right, Jason said the ads feature works well, but if you are used to JSON in the Facebook screen, it's a little slow to learn. You know how Facebook ads work, you can move faster there. Is this being recorded? Yes, it is. Tom wrote, can you go back and boost the post to run traffic to it?
Yeah, you totally can. Obviously, you still have to just like any other ad, you'd have to get it approved. But yeah, you could. So that one that I'm running, I actually did boost it yesterday, and yes, you can boost it just like an ad.
And then some other ways to increase like the viral activity. I know, Matt, you were like, oh man, my clients seem to be the ones that commenting on it, but getting them to comment and share and then possibly tag their friends, like those types of activities will now, increase the engagement, increase the reach, and obviously tag, like you could say, tag 3 friends that don't go to the gym, so that now it's getting in front of their friends. So that's some ways that you can increase some of the viral activity of that type of ad as well. All right. Question says, speaking of tagging, does tagging count as a comment?
I actually don't know the answer to that. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I'm gonna guess no.
Okay. All right. Does anyone else have any questions that's not in the chat that you want to ask Joel right now? No. He's doing such a thorough job that we've got no questions. All right.
Oh, I'm sure I am. All right, last one that we'll talk about is the ref URL. So ref URL, this is a growth tool that you want to use to build your Manychat list through a non-Facebook platform. So what I mean by that is it's literally a link that you could paste in an email, that you could have on a website, that you could have anywhere other than a Facebook ad. When they click on that, then Manychat opens up and starts the messaging sequence. So ref URL is the most simple to set up, and you can use it anywhere, with the exception of don't use it in a Facebook ad. But it's the easiest way. Let's say you have an email list of 5,000 people and you want to start Manychat tomorrow and you want to get 100, 200, 300 people on that list just like that. You could set up something where they click on your ref URL link and then Manychat opens up, gets them to do something, and then just like that, you'll have 300 people on your list. So that's really when you want to use this ref URL. So you could use it in your email and get them to click to do something. When they click on the link, that's when Messenger is going to open, okay? So the pros is that you can use this growth tool from email, websites, texts, anything like that. You just treat it like any other link that you would use, okay? The cons, you can't use it in Facebook ads. It needs to be inserted into an email or a website. And it does start with that get started button. Matt, maybe you want to explain really quick, like you've used it recently on to kind of confirm registration for certain things.
All right, so the way that we're actually using it, so we'll use it on a second page of a ClickFunnels. So if we do like an opt-in to win, they'll opt in, we'll get their information, but then on the second page, we'll say to confirm your registration, click here, and then that will bring them into Manychat. So when we're doing an opt-in, we're getting their information, they're getting on our email list, and then we're also getting them on our Manychat list. And then the other thing that we do is now in an AR, an autoresponder as well, is like, hey, to make sure you're officially registered, click here, which again brings them back to Manychat. But also any type of giveaways now, like in an email, we start including that. And one thing that we're going to be doing with our 2 weeks free promotion in June is on the second page of a lead ad. So on the lead ad, what's great about that is obviously it keeps them on Facebook. It auto puts in their information, right? You click the button and we have their information, but on the second page, you have the ability to drive them to a website or somewhere else. We're actually just going to insert the ref URL on that second page to confirm the registration. So even inside of a lead ad, we're going to be testing the ref URL on the second click. So that's kind of how we're using it. It gets around the needing to comment or take certain action. It automatically adds them to your Manychat list.
Yeah, so that's kind of another way you could grow that list using this tool. So give very specific instructions. I should have said that honestly with all these growth tools, you want to give very specific instructions, especially tell them that Messenger is going to open. If I flip back to my post, I say comment below and we'll send it straight to your messenger inbox. It's really nice if people know, because this is kind of new for some people, like clicking on a button and all of a sudden Facebook Messenger opens. So it's always a good idea to tell them exactly what's going to happen. So if you were doing this for ref URL, you could say, click on this link, Messenger is going to open, click on the get started button, and then grab the whatever it is you're giving away or getting them to do. Okay, so that's what you want to do with that ref URL. So if we go to growth tools, new growth tool, you're going to scroll down this messenger ref URL. All you need to do for this one's really simple, is write that initial message. The one thing that's nice about the ref URL tool is that you don't need them. Once they see your initial message, they're on your list. What Manychat and Facebook does is they say that by clicking on the link, they're using that. They're kind of saying like that lead or prospect is engaging with you by clicking on the link. So once they click on the link and then they click on like the get started button, then they're on your list. You don't need them to take action on your initial message. That's the one other pro of the ref URL, is that you don't need them to do anything else, because they're saying they clicked on the link, therefore they are interested in whatever this person has to offer. Okay, so you would just click edit. Same thing, you could change this message however you wanted to do it. You can add buttons. You could get them to do all kinds of stuff from here. So really the possibilities are endless on how you want to build up bots and automations and all this crazy stuff, which we won't go into on this call. But once you have that initial message written, you would just move over to setup, and that's going to give you that link. Okay, so that's going to be that link that you use wherever you want to post it, in an email, website, whatever it is. And so that's how simple it is to set up that ref URL tool. Write your initial message, grab that link, and you're good to go. So does anyone have any questions on that one?
I have a question. It's Kwang. Hey, Matt, maybe you answered this question. So for new owners where we don't have like a large subscriber base, we're still building our email list. Your comment about Facebook lead ads and incorporating the ref URL, is that one way to capture subscribers basically for new owners?
Yes.
Yeah, it totally is.
So,
Yep.
but it's
You're
not
being able to get the same thing. So Quan, on that first screen, like when they hit like submit or whatever the button is, that's going to get them on your email list and all the information that you need to follow up. So like first name, email, phone number, right? So you're building your email list no matter what. Now on that second screen, there's always a second page of the lead form. Like you can normally say like, hey, you're all set. But what's going to end up saying, especially for like the grand opening giveaway stuff that I'm creating, is that second screen is going to be like, hey, to officially register, click down below, and you'll get instructions inside of Messenger. And then from there, they're on both, right? So even if they didn't take that second step, we still capture their information on that first form. Like the whole process works regardless, but now we're building essentially two separate lists at the same time and being able to contact them on, different platforms.
So essentially in that particular strategy, that's kind of like in place of like commenting or interacting with Facebook posts. You're actually putting an ad out there, capturing their, I guess, opt-in for Manychat.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing a $15,000 membership giveaway, right? So the ad would be like, hey, we're opening, enter to win $15,000 in free memberships, and then they'll be on the lead ad. And then from there, they'll enter to win, right? And then on the second page will be how we build up the Manychat list. So it's basically the opt-in strategy on steroids, because we're able to build two lists versus one list. Any other questions on that? No? All right.
Good to go.
Cool. Keep going.
All right, so those are the three growth tools that you guys should focus on. What I would probably recommend is maybe start with that. If you guys haven't done anything yet, start with that ref URL, send out an email, and just set up a little welcome message. Just try to get people on your list, see how that goes. Then what I would do is maybe try the JSON, running a Facebook ad, and then move to the comment to Messenger, because that's kind of the order of complexity for those 3 growth tools. And they each have their pros and cons. All right, sequence. So in Manychat, you will see that there's an area down below. If you click on automation, there's the sequences. Okay, I haven't really used this much, but I've played around with it a few times. Oops. So think of a sequence exactly like an autoresponder for an email, right? After that initial message or whatever you want to do, you can then follow up with those people the next day, the day after, 2 days later, whatever you want it to be. Set it up exactly like an autoresponder. So you can have a series of messages over a series of delays that try to answer their objections, but ultimately lead to a call to action, whatever that is. Don't get too caught up in creating a bunch of sequences. I think sometimes people get caught up in creating like a new sequence for every single thing. But what you could have is a more generic sequence, and then it doesn't matter kind of like what your ad is. They would go on the same sequence. So you could think of the same thing as email. Like maybe you have a 5-series autoresponder that works really well for getting people to sign up for a 21-day LBO, and you use that kind of no matter what your initial offer is on Facebook. You could think of sequences as the same thing. So you can have as many messages in your sequence as you like, but I would stick to 3 to 5. So because Messenger is very intimate, you can't use it like email, where you're going to send out 3 messages every single week and do it for the next 6 months. Okay, so you kind of have one chance right at the beginning when people get on your list, maybe send them 3 to 5 messages over 3 to 5 days. And then if they don't take a call to action, then they just go on you're on your list anyways. And then you can occasionally send out a broadcast, which we'll talk about in a second. So that's what a sequence is. This is how I would set up a sequence. So let's say people opt in and they download your ebook through Messenger, which you wanted them to do. Your initial message is you would tell that lead kind of what to expect and how to unsubscribe. I think it's really important for people to know that they can unsubscribe from your Messenger list, because it is more intimate. People get really pissed off if they don't know that they can get off your list and they don't want to be on your list. Your second message could be an educational message, potentially with a call to action, although I would maybe not have one right away. Then your message 3 might be another educational message. Then maybe your last message has a call to action or a soft sell, something like that. So I'm going to flip back. I'm going to show you kind of what I've done for this ad that I set up and that's been running for the last day. So this was a comment to Messenger ad like we talked about. There's the copy for it. When people comment, it opens up. And I kind of showed you guys what that initial message was. Comment yes below to get the meal plan. And then the second message was just a second. We're grabbing our questions. The reason I did that is because then I was putting them on a sequence. So I was putting them on an autoresponder. Sometimes that takes a few seconds or minutes within the platform. So I thought I was just trying to be creative. Like, what can I put here if it is taking a few seconds rather than that message popping up? That's why I said we're just grabbing your questions. And then I am putting them on this sequence. So as soon as someone comments yes, then they would get this first message. And I actually have it set it up as a few questions to lead them down a path. So I've been trying to tag people so that in the future, if we know someone's interested in fat loss, probably a pretty good fit for our program. Someone's interested in muscle gain, probably not the best fit, okay? So my initial message after that is, what is your current goal? Then I have 2 buttons, fat loss or muscle gain. They click on one. The next message is, what do I got going on here? Maybe it's better to see it like this. All right, so they answer that message. You can set it up. This is kind of cool, guys. When you're building your messages, you can build it in this kind of like a platform that looks like this. If you click on this flow builder, you can actually kind of see. So it kind of depends how your brain works. You can set it up so you can see where your arrows are going, where your messages go. So after I ask them what their goal is, then I ask them what type of meal plan they would be interested in, vegetarian, paleo, or healthy living. These are the 21-day meal plans that HQ has on there. So there's like some nutrition website. I've used this half a dozen times, and every time I do, it's one of our best performing lead opt-ins. So then based on which button they click on, vegetarian, paleo, or healthy living, I send them to the last message. So if they click on vegetarian, thanks for answering all those questions. Here's your vegetarian meal plan. If they click on that download button, it just opens up the PDF. They have their plan. If they click on paleo, same thing. I include the recipe book. And if they click on the healthy living one, same thing. They click on it, they download that. Okay, so that's what happens in the first 30 seconds of interacting with this bot from the Facebook ad. The next message is a message I have going out the next day. And that looks like this. Hey, first name, we hope you had a chance to look at the meal plan we sent you. Nutrition leads to 70 to 80% of your fat loss success. If you are not following a fat-burning nutrition plan, you'll not see the results you're looking for. Working out is simply not enough. Remember, abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym. It's like there's no selling. It's a very soft educational message, okay? The next day will be this message, which is, hey, first name, yesterday we mentioned that working out was not enough to reach your fat loss goals. We thought we would expand on that for a moment to help you out. The 1-2 punch that allow you to see awesome results is following a fat burning nutrition plan and doing workouts that build or maintain muscle mass. You don't want to lose muscle mass while burning fat, but most people do. So same thing, I'm just trying to educate them a little bit on what people need to be doing, but obviously it's language that aligns with our program, with what we do. Okay, so then at the end, make sure you're doing both of these. Make sure you're doing both strength training and interval training to see the best results, in hopes that people are like, oh, I'm not really doing any of those. I'm on a treadmill all day or something like that, okay? And then my last message is a little more of a sell. Once I can zoom in. So this would be on the third day, okay? Okay, so the number one way to maximize fat loss in terms of workouts is workouts are designed to build and maintain muscle. Your workouts utilize interval training. Your workouts create an epoch, which means that you burn calories for up to 24 hours. And of course, they're always fun, exciting, safe, and effective. Combine this with your nutrition plan, better yet, one that's specifically designed for you, and you'll see crazy results just like some of the clients below. You can put in a gallery in here, so you can have images or you can have galleries. So there'd be a little arrow on here and people could click across and they could see all your before and afters that you wanted to include. And then at the end, I say, P.S. if you ever want to experience Fit Body Bootcamp firsthand, burn fat, get toned, and gain back your confidence, our 4-week Fit in 30 program might be the perfect fit. And then they could click on that, and then it would open up our actual sales page for that. So I have a few messages. So my sequence is a few, kind of soft educational messages. And then at the end, it's a little bit more of an in-depth educational message with before and afters, and then a soft sell at the end. And that's what I'm doing. So this is actually the first sequence that I've ever set up with a big selling feature at the end. People haven't even gone through it long enough, so I don't know how it's going to work yet. But that's kind of how you can set up a sequence. So think of it as 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 messages, educational, have a call to action on your last message. What else do I got about sequences? That's all I got about sequences. Any questions on sequences?
Joel, not about the sequence, but the actual images you use. I mean, this is going through Facebook Messenger via Manychat, right?
Yeah.
And you have no issues with before and after pictures?
No. So someone is on my Manychat list, right? Someone came in through my ad. They took action here. They commented. They did the initial, they did whatever I asked them to do in that initial message. And then I put them on this sequence. Think of it, if I flip this, if you thought of it as an email, someone saw your Facebook ad, they opted in, they got your initial email, and then you might have an autoresponder that's like the next 4 emails, right? You can do whatever you want in those emails. The same thing with this. Once someone is on your list, you can do whatever you want to do, okay, for the most part. You don't have to get a message approved or anything like that, okay? Hopefully that makes a little more sense.
It does. I was thinking in terms of Facebook advertisement. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Or even think about it as like a text message in many ways. Like you could text message somebody like anything, right? So the like Facebook rules and all that stuff don't necessarily apply in there, which is great. All right, what do we got? Bring some other people in here. Jonathan wrote, how are you communicating regularly with your list after they have gone through the opt-in sequences? Are there do's and don'ts of ongoing regular communication?
Yeah, let's talk about that in 30 seconds.
Okay, cool. Next person, what are your stats for this currently? Can we send a video through this thing? Yes. Like after they opt into the meal plan, could we send a message containing a video that explains what you've written out here?
Yeah, you totally could.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can insert videos. I've never inserted a video because I think you really have to compress it for it to come through clear. So I've never done that, but you can do videos. I've done like before and afters quite a bit and things like that.
Would you recommend, if you're sending a video, more send them off the platform to like a YouTube or a Vimeo or something like that if you have like a high quality?
Yeah, probably. I don't like 100% no, but I would say that's probably the best bet. I don't know. I was just going to show you guys my my numbers there, but now they're back to 0. So
Matt said
either something messed up or I screwed it up. But I don't know if you guys remember, but there's about 45 people that have like commented on the Facebook ad. 34 have taken action. So the conversion rate was 82%. So I've gotten 35 people onto my messenger list for like $12.
All right, so one more question here from Matt. Can Manychat integrate with FitPro Tracker? So once we collect someone's info in Manychat, can FitPro Tracker grab that info as well?
I don't think so. I've tried that with FitPro, like the email thing, and we use FitPro Tracker as well. But I don't think it would work well. You can't really do it with just the email thing. And but I could talk with Antonio about maybe setting stuff up. But that seems like it might be a little complicated.
So what ways can you put somebody into FitPro Tracker? Like they fill out a form, or they like? Yeah,
like you can like FitPro Tracker. If anyone doesn't use FitPro Tracker, it's a tool. Think of it as basically like a communication tool for all your members, prospects, leads. You can text, email through it. It's really good. So the main way we do it is we obviously have people in our members section. I don't know if we want to tangent a little bit.
No, I'm just saying, so what are the ways that if I wanted somebody to fill something out or take an action, which would automatically then put them into FitPro Tracker?
I don't think you could, not for Manychat.
Well, what would be the way? So if I say somebody was in my email and I wanted to get them into FitPro Tracker, like what would you have them do?
So if they were in your email, if you already have their email, you can just upload a spreadsheet into FitPro Tracker. So if you had like your prospect email list, you can just upload that into FitPro Tracker.
You can also integrate like FitPro Tracker with like ClickFunnels. So like on your email list, you can send them to a ClickFunnels page, and then that'll capture them into FitPro Tracker.
Yeah. So what I'm getting to is basically you would have them take a step. So if there was a button to like, hey, fill out this form to double your chances to win, or something like that, which then would take them from Manychat to whatever form that you want. Like I've done like survey funnels where it's like, hey, fill out the survey and earn a chance to win. And I take them off Manychat to do that. So with that, you're not going to have what Joel's saying is you're not going to have a integration function or something that like zaps them into your thing. That's not going to be possible, but you can take them off Manychat to wherever you want to take them to do whatever action that you need. You're just not going to get like 100% conversion. You may get like a 50% conversion of people that are now on your Manychat list to then be able to get into FitPro Tracker.
So like what you're saying is maybe send them with Manychat, then send them to like a ClickFunnels page, let's say, which is integrated with FitPro Tracker.
But
you could do that.
I do a two-step process. So I do like the free offer inside of ClickFunnels. So you're gathering all their information, which then you can link to FitPro Tracker. And then the next step is like, hey, to finalize your registration, click here and get instructions inside of your messenger, right? So that's the two-step process. So if you know ClickFunnels, if they give the information to ClickFunnels, you can get it into FitPro Tracker. I would do that step 1. And then step 2 would be Manychat using like the ref URL. Making sense?
Hello.
Yep.
Hi, I think you guys can use Zapier. I think I've seen Manychat being able to connect to Zapier. So because I know I use Zapier to connect a lot of other stuff to get it to go into my FitPro Tracker, and I've seen Manychat in there. So I don't know exactly how to do it, but I'm pretty sure that you can do it that way.
Yeah, and you might be able to. I know, like I've actually set up Zaps with Manychat, but just not to FitPro Tracker. I just haven't done it, so maybe it works.
but I don't know what information you're going to get from Manychat to zap over. Like we can get their name.
Yeah, you can ask for people's emails.
Yeah.
In trying to think of one that I've done.
I'm just saying from like talking about her question of a zap, like you still got to collect information. So with that, you would have to ask them for their email and their phone number, depending.
Yeah.
You could set up that afterwards. But what I'm saying is just somebody opting into Manychat, even if you had it zapped, like you don't have their information. Like you don't have their email information. And you don't have like.
What time are we going tonight, Susan?
Is that making sense? Maybe. All right. Let's see what Jason said. Lita, can you use the Club Ready links or can you connect Google Sheets into Manychat? Zapier works well using webhooks.
I'm not like, we have Club Ready and we know how to use 5% of it. So I am not up to speed with Club Ready.
But even with this, guys, like I don't think you necessarily like to take advantage of what the main thing that Manychat does for us. I don't think you need to worry about the other things. So when we run a campaign, we're sending out broadcasts just like we would send out an email to our clients. So the main goal is how do we get them on Manychat? If you want to get them into other types of platforms, then you just got to change your strategy a little bit. So if you want to do like insane follow-up on other platforms that aren't Manychat, then you just need to figure out how do I get that information to trigger what I want it to do. So part of that would just be thinking about the strategy on the front end, and then how does Manychat incorporate into the strategy that you want to use.
Yeah, don't try to make it complicated. Think of like your number one goal is to get as many subscribers on your list as you can. So like our first location, we have almost 1,000. Like just try to get as many people on your Manychat list. Don't worry about like, and also linking them into this and that, and don't worry about that. All right, so let's move on to broadcasts. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. So I asked it in the chat, but I think it got overlooked. I was wondering if we can use the ref URL in our Instagram bio.
Yeah, you can use it just like, it's just a link like any other link.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so here, now we're gonna talk about broadcasts. So broadcasts are what you could send. Think of this as just like your email that you would send out every week. You can do it whenever you want. So with the question that was, what do you do when people go through your sequence? Now they're on your list. How often do you message them? All that stuff. That's what a broadcast is, okay? So there's 3 types of broadcasts. There's subscription, there's promotional, and there's follow-up. Sorry, guys. That's me in the background if it's a little loud for a second. So when you send a broadcast, one thing that's important is if you do send a broadcast, make sure your team or whoever's there is available to answer questions in case some comes in, because just like text, it's not always the best if you send out a big broadcast, people reply back, and then you have nobody there to answer questions. Although, if I'm being honest, we do that probably most of the time. And send broadcasts a minimum once per month to a maximum of once per week. This isn't email. Don't send out 3 to 5 broadcasts a week, okay? Like I said, I used to almost never send out a broadcast, with the exception of now our challenge registration is open, etc. Now I've been playing around with every Tuesday, sending the Tuesday transformation, and so far that's going decent. So that's the way that I'm doing a broadcast right now. So let's first talk about subscription broadcast. You can send this broadcast to anyone at any time, but the initial message cannot contain any promotional material. This is super, super important. So let's say you go into Manychat and I want to send a message to my 932 people on our list. I would click on broadcasting. I would click on new broadcast. I write whatever that message is. Okay, so whatever I want that initial message to be, I write it. The thing that you need to have is, if you want someone to have a call to action, you need to then have a button at the bottom. So for example, let me go back to some that I've done in the past. I'll show you what that might look like. All right, so this was our last 6-week challenge. So this was my initial message to my first broadcast that went out. It says basically says the pre-sale is open for a challenge. Are you interested in this? Then I had 2 buttons. The bottom one is yes, let's do this, or no, I'm not interested. Okay, then it took them to another question. What's important about a subscription broadcast is in this initial message, you cannot have a button that takes them out of Messenger. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So in this initial message, if they said, yes, let's do this, I can't link this to the sales website and take them right from this initial message to the sales website. I have to ask them another question because the rules on Manychat with Facebook are the following. Let me see if I have them right here. All right. The 48-hour rule. Once someone is engaged with Messenger, you have 24 hours to send them a promotional message. So when someone is interacting with you, you can send them all kinds of links. You could do whatever you want, okay? Engaged means that prospect has sent you a message, they've replied to a question, they've clicked a button, they've done something within Messenger. If the prospect does not take action on that promotional message, you have an additional 42 hours. So basically, in a nutshell, when someone has taken action in Messenger, you have 48 hours to send them whatever you want to send them. Any sort of link, anything you want to do. After that 48 hours, you can no longer send them a message with a button that takes them out of Messenger. You need to send them a message that gets them to do something, to re-engage with you, and then, yeah, please, Kevin. And then you can send them promotional material. So if I flip back, right, my initial message, the buttons take them to another message. Then if they click on that button, it would take them to the sales page. So I know I can't see everybody, but I hope that makes sense. It's super, super important. You can do that, but if someone reports you, which supposedly is very common, Facebook will shut you down. Okay, so you don't want that to happen. So make sure that when you send broadcasts, you don't have a button at the bottom on your initial broadcast that takes them out of Messenger. That could even be, even if you're like, here's a free meal plan, and that button takes them to a PDF, you're taking them out of Messenger, that's promotional. Okay, so those buttons have to take them to other messages to then get them to do something. So I hope that makes sense. All right, so we just talked, so that's the subscription. We just talked about the 48-hour rule. Then we'll talk about the promotional. So a promotional message is
Joel. That's just with the broadcasts, right? That's not with like all the other ways that we can communicate.
No, like if you put someone on a sequence, those sequences you could build that 30 days long if you wanted to, and you don't have to worry. You could have promotional materials in those sequences, but with a broadcast, you have to abide by that 48-hour rule. So a promotional message is any message that takes a user out of Messenger in that initial message. So this could be a link to a sales page. This could be a link to a PDF. This was funny with our last mastermind group, but it's not so funny now because it makes no sense to you guys. Picture of Matt's puppy. Anything outside of Messenger. So any link that takes them out of Messenger is promotional. So therefore, when sending a promotional message, make sure you're sending it to the correct people. So let's say you sent out a broadcast. And actually, I'm going to show you guys this one because I think this will be a good example. This pre-sale notice. I don't remember if I did this in this one or not. Nah, I don't think I did. So let's say you sent out an initial message that was like, hey, our pre-sale is going live tomorrow morning. Are you interested in learning more about our 6-week challenge? You could have a button at the bottom that said yes, a button at the bottom that said no. They're going to click yes. It's going to take them to another message. That's like, awesome. Thanks for your interest. We will send you, a message tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. What you would do is if someone clicked yes, you would tag them as like interested or something like that. Tag them as yes, they want a message. If they clicked no, you would have another message. It's like, hey, no worries. We won't send you anything, or best of luck, whatever you want to do. You would tag them as not interested. So then everyone who has clicked yes, they are now within the 48-hour rule, right? They've engaged with you. You have 48 hours to do whatever you want. So the next day you would then you would go to broadcast. You would click new broadcast. You would write that message, hey, now our pre-sale is live. Here is the link below. That button could link right to the sales page because you're within that 48-hour window. Okay, when you're in the settings, you would click promotional because this is a promotional message. In the targeting, that's where you would select that tag. So you'd select that tag that said, like, yes, I'm interested in learning about the challenge. So I think I've used kind of tags like that below. Like clicked yes, clicked no. So I knew who to send people to. So I would only send it to the people that were interested in getting that promotional message. So it might sound a little complicated. Hope that kind of makes sense for the promotional message. And then follow up is more of the same. A follow up is just kind of like another level of promotional message you can send to those people that are still engaged in that 48-hour window. So that's what you do with people that are now just on your list. They've gone through a sequence and now you just have this big Manychat list. What do you do with them? Occasionally you send out a broadcast, make sure that initial message doesn't have any promotional material. Try to get them to engage with you, because once they engage with you, then you can send them whatever you want to send them. So I hope that makes sense with broadcasts. Matt, let's do any questions.
I don't have any extra questions inside of the chat. Does anyone have any questions they want answered on that? If so, pop in. I don't know if you cover it because I had to run to the bathroom real quick, but one thing that if you noticed on Joel's sequence, when he asked the questions, it said no. He tagged them, but it said, hey, if you're at all interested, here's the information. The click-through rate on that is still super high. Like 4 out of 5 people will still click on it because people are curious. So even though they said, no, I'm not interested, like they'll still click on that action. So your next one after that action,
so you can see that, no, I'm not interested. I tagged them as not ready, so I knew who those people were. But then I sent them the message, hey, no problem, but hey, if you decide to change your mind, here's the link to the challenge anyways. So for those people, the click-through rate was 2%, which isn't super high, but it's better than 0%.
Like mine's way higher than that. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, well, you're a way better copywriter, Matt.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. All right. So some people said they're not interested, but they're still curious. So give them the opportunity to still click and learn more. Any questions on broadcast? The way I use the broadcast, honestly, I only send out broadcasts, but when I'm like selling, I always do it as a multi-step process before I send them any type of promotion. So I'm still inside of the guidelines, but I just send out the regular broadcasts. But they have to click something before I actually start selling them something and bringing them to our page. All right.
Yeah,
no questions. Okay, we do have questions. Go ahead. No? All right. Keep going, Joel.
All right, so this is my last slide. So just some takeaways. Start building your messenger list right away. It's really powerful purely because of the open rates and the relationships that you can have with people. So it's very simple to start with that ref URL tool, but start using Manychat right away. We've been using it. People kind of think I'm the guru. I'm not the guru. We've just been utilizing it for maybe 2.5 years, 2 years. So not from its inception, but for a while. So we're just really familiar with it. Messenger is more powerful than text. I actually do think that. I think this messenger tool is more powerful than text messages, and obviously certainly more powerful than email. But don't forget to use it to try to build relationships. So automation is cool, but make sure your team can answer questions and build those relationships with people along the way. So that's all I got for you guys. That's why to do it. Those are the 3 growth tools to use, how to set them up, how to build a sequence if you want to, and then how to broadcast. So that's all I got, Matt.
All right. Any questions for Joel? That was absolutely awesome. Hopefully that takes you from like being scared of Manychat and not knowing what to do and how to optimize it to feeling confident to start using it. Like I said, in a lot of our materials that we'll be providing to you, like Manychat is part of the strategy. You don't have to use it, but obviously if you want to optimize what you're doing, incredibly important. I will echo the having somebody on the other side ready to answer questions. It's very frustrating for the person on the other end because they don't realize it's like an automated message. They think that, hey, they sent me a message, somebody's going to reply to this right away, and then they don't. and then they get frustrated. So, you know, I've been guilty of it because like our pre-sales usually go out on a Saturday and Sunday, and our team doesn't work on Saturday and Sunday, and you can just see some of the frustration with some of the people. But you can also use this as a way to start interacting and engaging with people to start the conversation. I definitely think being able to start a conversation and have a human actually take over is going to be more and more powerful, because there's just more and more noise right now going on with all the different platforms. And if we can personalize our approach and our marketing, like, we're going to win. So that would just be something to look at as well. So I'm going to go to the chat here and see what we have. They're just a bunch of thank yous, which is awesome. But seriously, like, what questions you have? We don't always get to be able to have this conversation on something so in the weeds specific. So now's a great time to ask. Nothing.
Clearly, I was super clear with everything. I felt like I just complicated you guys, but hopefully it was good.
All right, question. How do you get started with Manychat?
Just go to, I don't know, manychat.com, log in. You can get a free version, pay $10 a month for the pro version. Don't be cheap. If you're in Mastermind, you're not cheap. So get the pro version.
It's only $10 a month. Like, there's no like, hey, you're like, have this many subscribers, it's more expensive. So each location needs their own, but it's seriously only $10 a month. Like, from a marketing perspective, there is no greater investment on this planet than what benefits you can get from Manychat, and you only have to pay $10 a month. So it's pretty awesome. I just answered that question, Nadine. Yes, you need to have multiple each location needs their own Manychat, but inside of your Manychat, you can they can all be in the same dashboard, and then you can actually create.
Like, you can see all ours. All ours are right here. I have a free one for a Fit Body Forever program because I tested it out once, but I just don't use it for that. But our 3 locations are all right there with their accounts.
Yeah, and I don't know how that population, how much they would like engage in messaging.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. It says, is Manychat strictly web-based, or does it activate for the customer on their mobile device as well?
Oh yeah, it's Facebook Messenger. That's what it is. Everything that you create in here is a Facebook message. Manychat is just like a third-party tool. That's where you build what you want to build, but everything happens in Messenger.
All right. Yeah, that's the other thing, is like, so much of people's actual dialogue is like moving away from text messages, and a lot of them are like Facebook messaging each other versus there. So where are people's attention? Where are they at? Like, I don't know if you quite covered it 100%, but like, the click-through rates are really high. But how quick do people actually respond to like a Facebook message?
Oh yeah, it can be super fast.
Isn't it within like seconds that the average person actually see a message and actually respond to it?
Yeah. Well, I should cover this really quick, and I'm sure some people have got off, but hopefully they can watch back. When you're sending a broadcast, you can choose. So down at the bottom, where you can schedule it, but down at the bottom it says notification settings. You can select a few different options. Regular push is like, it pops up on your phone and says like ding, like it's like right in your face, like look at me. For example, for our Tuesday transformations, which don't have a call to action, they're not really that important. I don't do a regular push because it would be more likely to piss someone off. Okay. I do the silent one. So silent one is it just shows up in their messenger inbox. Okay. Silent push means it shows up on their phone, like the circle with like the 1, like has a message, but it won't ding. And then I think the 2 regular notifications are like, if you had multiple messages, it would like ding once, but not for all of them, or something like that. But then the regular push is like, if you had 3 messages, it just like ding, 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 like it's like right in people's face. So that is somewhat important when sending broadcasts based on the importance of that broadcast to select the right type of push.
Okay. And then Victor wrote, thanks a lot, Joel. Are you the guy we go to with questions later on?
Depends.
Yeah. One of the reasons that we asked Joel to come on and do like a webinar on this is so that we're able to answer all the questions now, and then be able to go back to that and be able to like do that. Like if it's like, hey, can you help me set up my Manychat? I'm just gonna like, out of respect to Joel, like him doing this alone was very gracious of him to do. I would respectfully not ask you to, I don't want to use the word bother him, but you know, he's got 3 locations. He's got a big family. Like he's got a lot going on. I would ask you like throw it up inside the Facebook group, and we'll be able to collectively answer your question.
Yeah, if it's like a simple question, I'm more than happy to answer it. But yeah, if someone's like, hey, can you help me set something up? Like, I don't have time. Their Manychat has a really good training program. It's really simple. Like once you do some of this stuff once, Manychat's actually quite user-friendly and easy to get rocking with.
Yeah,
so.
if you Manychat, like their guides are absolutely amazing. Like it's just a matter of Google search. Like just be resourceful, you'll find your answer. And then there's also a ton of YouTube videos that can walk you through setup on different things. So just be resourceful with that. Matt asked about running Facebook ads. Yes, the person that runs your Facebook ad is very aware of how to do all of this stuff. So
if not, you should find someone else to run your Facebook ads.
Yes. If somebody's in the know of marketing and digital marketing, they should know how to use Manychat and set everything up for you. And also, you know, a lot of the times we're creating workflows for you. And if we have the ability to share that with you, we will. And then it's like just kind of like downloading it into your account, which is pretty cool. What does it say? Are there multiple logins for a location so that we could have 2 or 3 people manning Manychat to deal with responses? The answers to people's questions actually go right into your Facebook business page Messenger. So it functions just like Messenger. This platform like sends everything out, but then when you actually respond to somebody, it's actually responding back to them inside of your Facebook business page Messenger account. Anything to add on that, Joel?
No, I was just going to kind of flip to, you could probably see some people, like you can see these people that are opting into that one. Like it all occurs right in Messenger. So Manychat is just where you're kind of like building, I don't know the best way to explain it, building the message. But once it's activated and running, everything happens in Messenger. So you can see like, this is what that message looks like when they commented. This pops up. Remember I said that link pops up below. That's that right there. They said yes. It pops up with the questions. So everything is happening right in Messenger. So your team, whoever your director of operations or office coordinator is at your location, they just have to watch your business page.
Yep. And then with that, give them a fair warning that a campaign is going out so that they're aware that there's going to be some craziness inside of Messenger. I've been known to not let them know, and then they don't like me. So I would warn them that that's happening.
Yeah, because they'll see, even if there's no, like for these people, right, there's no action that like we have to take. They've just gone through the flow, but there's like all the messages are occurring here. So if people are opting in or taking action really quick, there's going to be like a new message, and it could stress them out. But you can see these are all kind of the same, and no action needs to be taken. But it's good to review because sometimes people go through the flow and then they do have a question. And so it's good to like stay on top of these and just be like, yeah, okay, no action is needed here. But you might catch something like, oh, this person actually did ask something that wasn't a part of what I was trying to do.
All right, next question. It says a little off topic. Where do we find the meal plans we send people?
Oh, I don't know. I just had it saved from like years ago, to be honest.
Isn't it like Fit Body Bootcamp meal plan?
Yeah, there you go. fitbodybootcamp.com/meal plans. So it pops up. I've like literally used this, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times. And every time I've set up kind of the same thing, like grab this 21-day meal plan as a ClickFunnels, as Manychat. It works really good. So you can just download them right from here.
Cool. Next question. Let's see here. You're welcome, Matt. When someone opts in and you get a message, Facebook says to maintain your excellent response rating, make sure to reply. But if you have a bot set up, does that count towards that response? And Facebook just doesn't track that right away.
Yeah, like you can set up, To be honest, because I set this up like 2 years ago, and I haven't really touched it since. But I think you go to this automation, and then there's this welcome message, and you can write a welcome message right here, so that when someone messages you for the first time, this is what pops up, and then that's what they would see. So that, I think that gets, I'm not 100% sure if that has to do with the response rate or not. To be honest, I don't personally really care that much, but if you really do care, you might have to ask someone else about that.
Yeah, I don't think like somebody's response rate is going to make somebody decide whether or not they want to go to our gym. So I don't know if we have to be super concerned with that. And I don't know the answer either. If anyone else knows the answer, go ahead and pipe in. Yeah. Okay. That is the last questions that I have on the chat function. Is there anything that we did not answer that you're curious about, want an answer on while we have Joel here? Going. All right, we got a question in the chat. What does it say? How do you add tags?
All right, so if you were in, let's just do a broadcast because that'd be easy. So this would be the same process for anything. So say you were you're sending out a broadcast for the pre-sale tomorrow. Our pre-sale is going live, and then whatever, you type some more. And then you're like, are you interested? You could have a yes button. You could have a no button. And then you'll see from there, when the button is pressed, you'll have to send them another message, right? This would be a broadcast. You can't link to anything promotional, so you can't send them to a website. You can technically do it, but if you get reported, they'll like, you're out, you're shut down. So don't do it. And then at the bottom, you'll see this perform actions button. You click on that, and is it perform? What did I do? Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, it's because I'm in this flow. And then whatever that action is, then you could hit add tag. So that's where that tag button pops up, and then you could say like, yes, they're interested, or no, they're not, or whatever you want it to be. These are kind of all tags that I've used in the past. I've asked, like before we were talking about current members and not, I have done that in the past. Yes for notifications, no for notifications. You can just create whatever you want. So pretty simple. Just remember to do the action button.
Yeah.
Right there.
All right. Cool. Eric said too easy. Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, Manychat is very easy.
You can't screw it up. So just get started with it, get moving on it, take action, just like anything that we talk about. Like, you have this powerful tool, just start taking action, start learning the platform. You're going to want to use it. The fitness space is starting to catch on and starting to use it. But you still, for a lot of us, we can definitely be ahead of the market, especially if we're using it correctly and we're using it often. So it's just another tool that you have from a marketing perspective that you're definitely going to want in your toolbox. So start getting on top of that. It's only $10 a month. Just take massive action. Like everything that we teach you guys, take massive action, and you'll learn it as you go. So I would highly suggest you do that. I'm going all in on it. Obviously, Joel has gone all in on it. The best people in the fitness space from a marketing perspective are starting to go all in on it. So I'd highly suggest every single one of you goes all in on it as well. If there's any other questions, please ask right now or we are jumping off. Nothing. All right, perfect. If you do have follow-up questions, I'm going to be linking this video. I'll put it in the Facebook group. I'll get with Bryce to send it out to all of you. Make sure you rewatch it and then start taking action. If you do have questions, post them up into the Facebook group, and collectively we can be able to answer any questions that you have. Outside of that, thank you guys for attending this webinar. Thank you, Joel, so much for sharing your knowledge and your wisdom.
Yeah, my pleasure. And a lot of unfamiliar faces part of this group. So my brother and I have been owners for about 3.5 years. And you guys, some of you might have met Jared at the last one, but I probably won't be at our June mastermind. My wife is very pregnant. So there's a chance I might be there, but probably not. So I'll have to see you guys in October.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone. You have a great day, and we will talk to you soon. Hopefully, we'll see every single one of you in June.
All right, see you guys.
See ya.